Okay, so I'm gonna try to explain how do you think independently. That's if I want you to think more independently, then I need to explain how do you think independently. Um, but before we get into that, I just need to make something clear. Um, if you at some point throughout this video begin to think, oh, this doesn't quite make sense, or what about this situation, or something like that, then pause the video and then try to think that through, because then you are actually doing independent thinking. Like, kind of spoilers. That is exactly that's pretty much the goal of this. What I'm just trying to do to get you to do more of that. So I would love if you pause the video and try to think about something. With that said, then let's get into it. To be able to answer how we think independently, we need to know why do we think, and what is the purpose of thinking. Because if we know what the purpose of thinking is, then we know when we should be independent about thinking, and when we should just take what someone else tells us. And I would say the purpose of thinking is to organize ideas, different ideas you have, in some cases just to organize them, and in other cases to organize them to determine what action you should take. So which action you should take, what behavior you should take to reach whatever goal you have. There's pretty much always some goal that you're trying to reach. No matter what you're doing, there's usually always some kind of goal. You can try to think for yourself again about it. What are some cases where you want trying to reach some goal? When you go to the toilet, you are trying to reach the goal of not having to pee. When you're going and eating, you're going to getting something to eat, so you don't feel hungry. Like, you can then be thinking, okay, if you're out in the city and you need some place to go and buy food, how much do you want to pay? Where do I know some places already? Do I know someone close that I can ask or something? Do you have these different ideas? Okay, then you organize them and try to say, okay, so I should take this behavior to get the food I want. So that's these ideas. Then you might also be explaining something. Like, I'm right now trying to explain something. I'm trying to give you these ideas and make you connect them together, to then get a better understanding of the world, or getting better understanding of how you think independently. So either you are thinking to organize ideas, or thinking to then take some behavior, take some action. You can do, I would highly recommend thinking about those two. Is there other cases? Is there other cases you think? Because, for example, if you judge someone, then you are, I get kind of into that later, but you have an idea of someone else, and then you're judging that person, and then you are giving them some lower value, or they didn't do it the right way, so they have a lower value or something. So your idea of the person, the different ideas you have about the person, then you get that degraded. It's not as important as me. So let's get into the next one. What is an idea? You're organizing ideas, but what is an idea? An idea is some abstraction from the world. Do I need to? No, I know. An idea is anything abstraction from the world. Fire is hot. An idea. The background is white. That is an idea. The thing I said. What you're seeing, when you're looking at that's not an idea. That's then what you're experiencing right now. But the idea is some concept, or some phrase, or something you said, or some image, or something. This is an idea. This whole thing, this drawing is trying to point to something that it actually isn't. If I point at something, then I'm trying to use my hand to indicate that you should look at the thing I'm pointing to. It's not just a hand. It has some meaning. An idea is then this understanding of, okay, the hand means this. That's an idea. Any abstraction from reality, but because otherwise you just see the hand, and then when you see someone do this, then you have the idea that this has some meaning, and then then you use that to then determine what I mean. So that's idea, some abstraction from what is reality right here. And how do we get those ideas? Where do these ideas come from? They're gonna come either from your own experience, that you felt that heat was really warm, you touched it yourself, or that someone else tells you heat is warm. No, I mean fire is warm. If someone else tells you fire is hot, or someone else tells you that the earth is round, or someone else can say the earth is flat. They can either come from your own experience, or it come from someone else explaining, or it can come from a book, it can come from something else. So a book, a video like this, any other like media like that. So personal experience, or what other people give you of information. That is where they come from. So you get these ideas, they then you know now what an idea is, you know where they come from, and then where they get stored is, I call, in your mental library. This is rows and rows and rows of like shelves with books, and on all of these books you have that is where all the ideas is. This is a metaphor, of course, but you have all these ideas, and when some new idea come in, you will then, if something new, that's when you're learning, then you're writing a new book, you're adding new information. Or if something new information comes out, then you might rewrite it. If someone's come and say the earth is flat, and it's then false, then you will just reject it. But if there comes some nuance, the world is not round, that's not a ball, it is a sphere or something, where it's a bit more wide like this, instead of like a ball that's completely round, then it's more like that, and then it's not round, it's more, this is more, sphere, is that what it's called? I think that's what it's called. I might be wrong, might be saying something completely different, but anyways, so then you get, so then you rewrite that idea in your head. So this is why you use your thinking. So you think, can that actually be true? Here you're being independent. You're using your independent thinking. So, is it actually... Sphere, does that fit together with the other ideas that I have about the world? Because it doesn't make sense if it's flat, because then these other ideas they can't be true. But but it might be possible that it's a sphere instead of a circle, because when it's turning around, that makes sense that the weight would get more where it's spinning, get wider out there, instead of being completely round. Then you're making this reasoning. Okay, it makes sense, and then you add it to your mental library. And then at some point, if you I don't know when that would be. If you're gonna be some pilot or so on, you need to know how do you fly around the world, and you need to know that the world is round, to then use that idea to then determine what behavior you're gonna take to be able to get your passengers to the destination they want to fly to. That's pretty much the whole how ideas move and so on. One thing I just want more at is this mental library is trying to point to reality. It's trying to simulate reality. All the ideas and so on, trying to explain how do you behave in this world to most efficiently reach your goals. And your goals is also a part of your library. This is why I've pointed it back to the mental library. because in your brain, you might think that something is more important than something else. You might think that movies, this movie is really really good, and then that's not a goal, but the emotions you felt when watching the movie, then you felt a lot there, and those emotions, that positive emotions, that's your goal. Maybe someone else have preferred to get that by getting like bungee jumping or jumping out of a plane. They value that more than getting this positive emotion by watching a movie. They want to use a body. There's a lot of different type of goals you can have. There's also like the basic ones, not feeling hunger, also basic again goal. But all these different ideas or goals, that's what you use, and you use pretty much this to simulate the world. So whatever you're experiencing right now is always going to be more true. That's a really quick jump to a conclusion. But all your ideas and so on come from this moment right here, or come from someone else telling you in this moment something about the world. So yeah, okay, it's a bit of a different story. Let's just keep that for another day. So let's try to go through all of it. You hear that there is some party they're gonna be at some point, and you have the goal of you want to have fun. You know that on Friday you're gonna want to have some fun. You have time in the weekend to then to sleep. You think that's fine. So yeah, the goal. Oh, there's this party. You think, oh, this is interesting. So this is now an idea, and then you think, oh, can it actually be true? You don't usually think that, but let's go into more detail. Is it actually true that this party can happen? And then if you determine, okay, it is possible, then it becomes a part of your mental library. And then you might plan out a few things or something you need to prepare, and then you determine, okay, I need to take this behavior to maybe get a costume or something else. Then you will hear maybe some more information that, oh, the party's gonna have this DJ, or it's gonna be so fun, and these people gonna come, and so on. And then you first determine, oh, is this true? Is it actually can become part of your mental library? Like, it's gonna just be a part of your mental library for a short period, and then you're gonna pretty much throw it out afterwards. But it's gonna be there, and you can think back to this day at some point as well. So you get the ideas, and you then, okay, so the party is this, I need to, so on, there's gonna be this costume, I need to make sure that I have these things ready to go there. My goal is to have fun, so therefore I want to make sure I get the nicest costume or something else. You can get in more detail about all this, but it's, the ideas comes in, you determine if they're true, you add it to a library that's pointing to the world, what is likely gonna happen at the event. Like, there's gonna be a DJ. The external world, you're gonna see a DJ with your eyes, like, and then you think, okay, what behavior should I take to then be able to get the goal of having fun? Now, if you want to get more independent thinking, like, this is independent, but then you can determine, well, if I want to have fun, if that is the goal, what other ways can I get to have fun? Then you are here again determining, well, there's multiple ways to get those. It is like this thinking of determining what behavior to take. If you just hear there's this party, and you say, oh, there's this party, and you believe that it is gonna happen, oh nice, and you then think, okay, let me just show up. If that's the thinking that's going, then you're not thinking independently there. But if you are like trying to think of, oh, what kind of costume, and thinking a lot about like the different details and so on, then you are using your independent thinking there to make your own costume or make something else. Is that true? you are thinking a lot here to determine what kind of behavior you should take to make that costume. How should you make the costume? Where should you buy it? Why should you buy different pieces you need to put together to get to the goal of having a great costume? But again, you can then also go, that's the costume. Getting a good costume is a sub goal of a few maybe steps. Like getting a costume is nice to be able to then look apart from the different ones at the party, to have a really great party, to feel enjoy yourself or have a lot of fun, or to feel special could also be. If you have the best costume and you get the award for best costume, then you get that feeling, and that could be a goal. Like there's also someone who talks about different goals that you have in life. The 6 human needs, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You've probably heard about those before. There's like mostly Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You usually connect your goals back together with that. But when you want to think more independently, it is this thinking here, and it's this thinking here. And it's using this thinking to determine what is actually the right goal for you to have. And becoming really clear using your thinking to determine what is actually the most important goal for you to reach. What is important. To get an overview over the different goals you want to reach, and when you have your goals, then you can start to, like, when you first have your goals comes before behavior. Like, the process is to reach the goal. You're not just going through the process. When you're going through school, you might think, oh, I'm just going to school every day. But you're going to school to get this degree, this paper, so you can get a better job. Hopefully you can get a better job. But if you want a really good job, then you can use a lot of independent thinking to determine what would that job be, and then you might have an idea that it could be this, and then you go and try that. And then you get more feedback in. And then you find, okay, so it's not really this. It might be more like this, but I really like this part. So this is what I call for independent thinking. This high level of thinking either about your goal or thinking about what is true. Because, that's one thing I also didn't get in. If there's something that's false in your library of what you think is true, then you're not going to be as efficient to reach the goal. If I think fire is cold, then I might hurt myself or actually die by that. Or if I think that that I think that a painting is worth $1 million, and I then buy it for $1 million, and it's actually worth much less, then I'll be able to reach my goal. So, like, knowing the truth, having a really accurate understanding of the world will not falsehood, will make you be able to take better actions to be able to reach your goals. So that was the thing, to add about truth. But to be able to think more independently, you're either gonna get a better map, get a better mental library, get a more accurate, more accurate understanding of the world. When you have that, then you are more able to think and determine what action you should take to then get your goals. But usually it will be in the reverse order. So let me get here. First, you think a lot, well, what kind of goal might I want to get? Okay? You get your best guess. Then you take behavior to test that out. And then you feel, oh, do I like this? Do I like doing this, or so on? Then you make sure that it's actually true, or you try to organize the information that you learned by trying out this thing. You add that to a mental library. So when you then again, okay, what do I actually want? What do I actually want? Then you can again find out, okay, so what behavior do you not need to take now to be able to better get that? And then slowly going through this process, keep repeating and keep adjusting your mental library, mental understanding of the world to then end up getting whatever you want to get. But what you usually end up doing, what usually end up happening is that you just take in what other people say. You should go to school, you should get a house, you should do this, you should do that. You should come to the party, you should bike in the right side, you should have a helmet on, you should... All of these ideas, they might be true, they might be the best thing for you to take of action. You just need to go through the mental process to determining for yourself what is actually the right behavior. That's what I have to say with this video. Get a good mental library, and you can use this, or you can use what you want to get, what is it your goal is, to determine what kind of mental library you need. To then determine what kind of behavior you need to take, to then be able to make that mental library. And when you get the really good mental library, that is the one that will make you be able to get to your goal. Please try to think about this now. See if these ideas make sense. If this would be the ideal that you begin to think about, is that you think, okay, what is it what do I want? That is thinking, what do I want? What do I want? Ooh, it could be nice to get that, or it could be nice. Make a list. Take a piece of paper, make a list. I would like these things. And then you say, okay, so how can I find out if I actually like these things? And then you determine what behavior you need to take. And then you take that behavior and then find out, do you actually like it? And then you find out, well, I like this, but I don't like that part. Then you adjust your mental library to that. And then you do that again. Then, okay, so I like this thing and I don't like this. Then you adjust your goals. Then you say, okay, then what do I now need to do? What's now the goals? And you do that again. So this is what I'm going to try to do over the next videos. Trying to keep you to get this loop, this feedback loop, this positive feedback loop to work. Yes, this is going to be great. Perfect. This is going to be it. This is going to be the theoretical part of this video is going to be theoretical, and then moving forward, I'm going to try to be as practical as possible. Perfect. See you.